This conference will now be recorded.
Hi everyone, I'm Arvin here from MID. Today I would like to actually talk about the PBT in Penang. Yeah, all right, not yet. Okay.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and very good morning to all. Thank you for joining us today. Today we have Ms. Arvind Kaur Singh from Market Intelligence Department from Industry Research Division. Before we start, I would like to remind, please turn off your camera and volume to avoid disruptions. Please use your full name for us to capture your attendance. And if you have any questions, you may submit your through the chat box. Okay, without further ado, I would like to invite Ms. Arvin to present her topic, PBT in Penang. You may proceed.
Hi, good morning. I'm Ms. Arvin from MID, and today I'll be talking about the latest guideline that was enforced in Penang earlier this year is the SOP Pantahan. And to begin, I would like to actually tell a brief introduction first about the telco towers that Penang has been facing. So the perception that telco towers can endanger lives has encountered and caused alarm. There is a lot of fake news about these telco towers and some inaccurate information about the safety of these towers. So the guidelines in the SOP are important to resolve all those complaints. Penang has introduced this SOP, which include public consultation, awareness programs, and the steps residents should take when filing complaints against telco towers. The SOP will actually improve the management of such complaints and could even be implemented in other states if necessary. Under the SOP, residents who wish to submit an objection to a telco tower, they have to actually submit a form and append to evidence to support their grievances. Basically, today the topic is going to be on SOP Bantahan. I would like to actually share my slides and go on with today's session. Firstly, the reason that the objection came into this SOP came into force is because the public involvement in objecting and protesting has become more in Penang. The reason was they were claiming that health issue because of the telco structure, the risk of radiation, it affects the their neighborhood. The design is not as beautiful as it is to be in the neighborhood in architectural sense and so on. So the SOP, as I mentioned earlier, it came into force on the 1st of January this year. It was implemented to meet the aspiration of the state government in ensuring the access to telecommunication coverage in the state of Penang. In addition, it aims to improve the telecommunication infrastructure development process as well as to streamline the procedure of handling objections that was received in regards to the telco structure. These objections are actually received by the local government authorities it is actually read in conjunction with the existing 2015 guideline, the Prosedur dan Garis Panduan Pembinaan Menara dan Struktur Sistem Pemancar Telekomunikasi Negeri Pulau Pinang. Previously, before this SOP came into force, when there is any objections done by any residents, it is very ad hoc manner. Means PBTs will attend to residents' objection as and when complaint is made. For example, if let's say in a certain area, they go to the state assemblyman, and then the state assemblyman try to settle the problem, or they go to the council and make complaint, and that's about it. PBT will then issue a notice to the structure owner. The structure owner will need to actually have engagement sessions with the residents to solve the matter within 14 days. And then if let's say there is no consensus between the both structure owner and also the residents, the structure owner will need to inform PBT, and PBT will then proceed with enforcement to actually take down the telco structure. So this was the practices before. So most of the telco towers, if there is no consensus between structure owner and residents, council has to proceed with enforcement and take down the telco structure. So in actually to make things better and further improvement in Penang, Penang SOP Bantahan was actually introduced. They have two elements in the SOP Bantahan. One is objection by the residents for new structure, means new structure, telco structure that are going to be placed, and also objections by residents for existing structure. So firstly, we're going to go on objection by residents for new structure. So when there is any objection, firstly, the owner of the structure, when you're going to put in a new structure to get a permit, they need to seek approval from OSC. The owner of the structure must obtain the approval of the structure permit directly from the local authorities prior to any construction of any telecommunication transmission structure. Once that is done, the owner of the structure have to put up a signboard in regards to the proposed project or the construction site following the standards set by the local authority. This is to show that this particular site or proposed project, there is a telco structure that is going to be put up. The signboard is just to give the awareness to the residents around the area. Then any objection regarding the structure that is going to be placed has to be done in a written form. It will be through an objection form. It's called Borang Bantahan Structure Pemancar Telekomunikasi Negeri Pulau Pinang. And it has to be filled by a representative of a resident, or if let's say in any condo or any apartment, they have a JMB form. So the joint management body, the representative of the JMB or the residents will need to write into the local government division. So if any other department or agency involved receive or accept, for example, any Pusat Khidmat or any other departments in government itself, if they receive it and they accept the objection form, they have to channel it to the local government division from the Penang State Secretariat Office. This is the 4 steps that if there is any objections for a new structure, this is the steps that they need to take. Once the objection form is received by the local government division, the local government division will look into these 5 technical evidence. So the objection form must be attached with technical evidence from the following local government departments and agency. So they need to get a doctor's letter by the governments of hospital, clinic, and then Ministry of Health report. They need to get a radiation report attached, and they need to get from JKR structure safety report, and structure safety report also from Jabatan Mineral and Geoscience Malaysia. In order to actually proceed with any objection to investigate further and so on, the objection form has to be attached with this technical evidence telling that this is the reasons that we are objecting. If there is no any objection form, then it doesn't carry much weight, and they will be requested to actually obtain technical evidence. As I mentioned, any objection to the structure that is submitted without technical evidence the local government division will need to inform the respondent. Respondent means the objector, being the resident representative or the JMB, in writing requesting them to prepare and provide the technical evidence for consideration. However, if the objection is received together with the attached technical evidence, then it will be investigated by the investigating body. It's called Badan Siasatan Bantahan Penduduk, which is established to be responsible for evaluating and investigating the objections accepted, and it consists of department and agencies from telco and public health field. They are appointed by the chairman of the Penang State ESCO, means the chief minister himself, and those members are as follow. They are from the KKM, MCMC, they are from Agency Nuclear Malaysia, Majlis Bandaraya Pulau Pinang, Majlis Bandaraya Seberang Perai, JKR. And if there is any relevant department or agency needed for that particular area or that matter for that bantahan, then if necessary, they will be included in the investigation body. And if let's say there is an objection and the construction work has started, then the local authority needs to issue a notice of stop work, notice perintah berhenti kerja, until the decision is actually issued by the investigation body. The investigation body will conduct an investigation and issue a decision on whether it is justified or not. So if there is a valid objection with the technical evidence and it's justified, then the telco's telecommunication structure permit will be withdrawn. And if there is no objection, no grounds on the objections, then the installation and the construction of the telecommunication structure can be continued. So there is the local government division will inform the residents and the structure owner in written form regarding the investigation decision. So if there is a valid objection, the permit will be withdrawn according to the existing rules. And if there is no grounds on the objection, hence the installation will be continued. Both of the decisions that is made, as I mentioned, is be given in written form to both of the parties, being the objector and the structure owner. So for the existing structure, earlier we were talking about objection by residents for new structure, but objections by residents for existing structure, there is a if there is an objection made by the residents for an existing structure that has been already operating, that is received by the local councils, the councils will need to channel it to the local government division. Once they receive the objection, once again they will see there is any technical evidence or not. And if there is technical evidence, then the objection will be investigated by the same investigation body, the Badan Siasatan Bantahan Penduduk. The investigation body will conduct an investigation and issue a decision whether it is justified or not. The local government division once again will inform the decision in written form in regards to the objection. If it is justified and valid, then the structure owner is given 30 days to resolve the issue with the residents from the date of the decision is made. If there is no solution or consensus from the engagement, then the structure owner will need to remove the telecommunication structure according to the rules that has been already been set by the local authority. So if let's say there is a technical evidence, the structure owner needs to remove the telco structure, and as I say, if there is no further engagement done, but there is no further solution, then the structure owner will need to remove the telco structure. So this is the Carta Aliran of the bantahan. As I mentioned earlier, maximum days are 40 days. The Badan Siasatan sits in once in a month if there is any cases. And other than that, if there is the existing one, this is the Charta Aliran. As mentioned, they only sit in 30 days, once in 30 days, and they are given 30 days to solve any bantahan if there is with the public. And that's about it for Penang SOP bantahan. If there is any questions, you can ask me in the chat box. I will answer it the moment I finish this 1-2 other slides of mine for today. And besides that, other challenges that faced by PBT in Penang. PBT in Penang, there is only two. We have only two councils, MPPP, Majlis Bandara Pulau Pinang in the island, and we have Majlis Bandaraya Seberang Perai in the mainland. Hence, to actually streamline any procedures is much more simpler as compared to other states that has PBTs, that has many PBTs, as an example for Selangor and so on. So for us to actually streamline any current new guidelines or procedure is much more simpler. But still, saying that we do have challenges that the PBT is facing. I believe the same challenges many other PBTs has also been facing. It's a collection of a renewal of a permit fee. So PBTs are actually having trouble in collection of renewal of permit fee from the telcos. Hence, PBT in Penang are in the midst of reviewing the 2015 guideline for Penang for further improvement. They are actually having tunggakan almost millions from the telcos, and hence looking into methods and ways where they can actually collect the renewal fee. That's the biggest challenge that Penang's PBT is facing. Secondly would be Penang is also looking into removing the illegal telco structures. They are in doing so to ensure all related infrastructure is legal and it adhere to safety requirements. Communication Infrastructure Permit Management (CIPM) system was developed by MCMC with an objective to actually help prevent this leakage from the telecommunication towers to operate illegally in the state of Penang. So besides collecting the renewal permit fee, the second challenge is actually removing the illegal telco structures. We have actually 101 telco structures that is illegal due to and thanks to CIPM system, we managed to actually detect that. Hence, it serves the purpose of enables the data sharing between MCMC and any local authorities, and it actually facilitate the monitoring of a structural permit status and renewal process. And as I mentioned, it identifies the structures that do not have a permit for enforcement purposes. That's about it from me today. And if there is any question and answers, please drop by the questions in the chat box. I will reply you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Arvin. Any questions from participant? Anyone would like to ask Arvin? We still waiting for questions. Ada ke soalan? Okay, none from Johor. Anyone else? Okay, kalau tak ada, kita close ya. Thank you, Arvin. Thank you, Arvin, and thank you everyone for joining us today. I would like to remind, after this session, we will send a survey to improve our activities, our sessions. Therefore, I really appreciate if you can spare a bit of your time to fill up the survey. For staff at Tower 1 MCMC, lunch pack is provided at level 3. Please get it by 12 noon today, and it's first come, first serve basis. Okay. Thank you, and see you all again next session. Bye.